from my mark in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This is Hawk Talk with Jensen. Presented by Oak Knoll Retirement Community. Oak Knoll, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City community for 59 years. Also brought to you by Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Bud Light, proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Also brought to you by University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Linux and your local Linux home comfort specialist, made right here in Iowa since 1895. And by your local Ford dealers. Here's Rob Brooks.
At 10-2, still ranked in the top 15 in the AP in the country, and back in action on Sunday against Penn State, and then a New Year's Day game against Nebraska, thankfully both inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. And welcome to our final Hawk Talk of 2025. And a couple of weeks ago, certainly thought that it would for sure be a white Christmas. When we got home from Rutgers, certainly after the Lindenwood game, not going to happen. It'll be over 50 degrees on Thursday, huh? I'm okay with that, though.
I think most of us might be okay with that. Well, maybe a slight dusting, just a little dusting right at the midnight hour. Wouldn't that be nice right before Santa comes right down that chimney? I think I'd be okay with that, but I'm not going to complain about 50.
No, nothing like we've had to endure a couple of Saturdays.
How many people are going to grill out for Christmas? Are we going to ditch bacon the turkey, or are we going to smoke that baby outside?
I think maybe tomorrow or even Wednesday, you got a chance to light that grill.
Huh? Speaking of which, thanks for everybody coming out. What a crowd
Another
on the holiday
crowd,
week.
huh?
My goodness, that is
what a better place to be,
there's nobody like
right?
I was thinking, like, man, coming off a tough game and never knowing, people just lift our spirits and sticking with us. So thank you very, very much.
Well, just so many games to go, and that's the great thing. And then it really gets fun, though, doesn't it? Here when you get into conference play and kind of see where everybody's at. Yeah. And there's just, when you talk about the non-conference portion as well, there's so many different teams playing different types of schedules. And we talked about it a little bit last week where you wanted to go out and get those Power 4 games in there, 2 top 10 opponents already. And that's what really prepares you for what is here in the next few months. Yeah,
it really does. I really think the way we assembled our schedule is really good. Would have been, certainly nice to sit here and be, 12-0, but I'm really proud. I think the growth that we've showed. We're just, we haven't, both of those games, we haven't quite been at full stretch or full strength of the ones that we've lost. And we played, I think we've had some really great minutes in both of our losses, and we've had some certainly not so great minutes. Especially with a team like UConn, you can't have to be in a position to even win the game, to possibly win it, not even to win it. Everything has to be at full strength. Every player has to play a very good game. Everyone has to be dialed in, and you have to play at such a high level. And that UConn game, it got away from us there in that third quarter. But I saw a lot of good things, and, we just didn't have Kylie Feuerbach in that one. Chit Chat had just come back when we were playing Iowa State, and then in both of those games, unfortunately, Ava Hayden just didn't have her best game. So a lot of promise at, I think, what can happen. So I'm really focusing on all of the good, and certainly I know the things that didn't go so well. I do think that, as a coaching staff, we can address them and really have a lot of fun in the Big Ten season.
Did you feel any different watching the tape versus after the game?
Oh, man, when you rewatching a loss is just awful. I will say.
Well, you don't have to do that very often, which is good.
I don't, right? No, kind of what I thought. When I was we were preparing for UConn. The thing that's really impressive about them is that they full court press just about every possession. But what they don't do after that full court press, when you get it over half court, a lot of teams, they just kind of drop their shoulders a little bit. They've stretched you, you've gotten across about 2 seconds to spare, and then you kind of settle. Those guys, the minute you cross it over, they are cranking it up. And I really felt our team responded pretty well to that. We had our gray squad really dialed up for that week leading up to the prep of UConn. Out of the 26 turnovers, that's what was really glaring. Obviously, that was ridiculous. I was not happy, and we should have done better, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But only about 4 of them were really directly because of the press, in the backcourt. Only 4 of them. And I even stretched when I was watching it. But what that does is the pressure, the mental. The mental was when we got across the timeline, the increased intensity, we just made some really, really poor decisions. And I don't understand why. I talked to the team a little bit about this in practice. Usually a press will really speed you up and you'll play really hurried. We did not push pace. We did not push pace at all, because if you break a press and you can get it across, and we'd really practice, if we get it to Taylor McCabe, she's going to shoot that son of a gun. If you're going to get it, now granted, they were really well coached, obviously, and they really took Taylor away, but we have 2 or 3 shooters. But a lot of times we would cross it, and we were so methodical and almost robotic getting to the spot. And then all of a sudden, when we would try to make a pass somewhere, it was the same thing. It was a lot of steady, even pace. But when you're doing that type of, slow, passing, man, they would go through those passing lanes, or they dig in and they kind of slap and be a little physical with you. And I just couldn't get that changed in that third quarter. But did it surprise me? Yes, I thought we had handled it a little bit better than we showed. But then when you think about it, it's a pretty big stage. You're on national TV, you're playing in Barclays, and then when you get on the floor, I talked a lot to the team. I said, don't play the history and don't play the ranking. Play the five young women on the floor. But it's kind of hard to do when you're walking and all of a sudden their athleticism and their size. I just think that we let that get to us a bit, and they're extremely good.
And probably watching the film too, and I noticed a couple times on the sideline, you saw the break. Obviously, let's go. Let's push the pace there, because you had some opportunities, because you did rebound well.
Yeah, and when we talked about, we watched the film together as a team, and I think that there was just a little bit of you get it across, we got it across, and you're trying to get to your spot, but by the time you're kind of getting to your spot, we just forgot that we could start the offense no matter where. And that just has sometimes been a little younger, but that's just what pressure does. But I think a lot of the things I saw, I really believe are really correctable. They're going to take away, this is Gino Auriemma we're talking about. You don't have a gazillion wins for being lucky, right? He was never going to give Taylor. I knew that's why we needed all the other people to really, really step up. So we can really fix all that. And I liked our mindset afterwards. I learned a lot. And I think, there's a lot of people that I think are always, you hear a lot of debates, right? We can always, people want to switch starting lineups and do this or that. Kylie Feuerbach a lot of times doesn't score. She, did not practice yesterday due to her injury. Hopefully we're going to get her back. After that first, she slipped on the logo, and she's got a, ramification with that. So she tried, but then we couldn't play her in that second half. Well, Kylie would have been on 35. And when we don't have Kylie in that lineup against superior teams that can really score in a lot of different ways, that really thwarts what we want to do. And so that I would have liked to have seen us be able to play them with the game plan that we did have defensively and what Kylie is able to do. And that was unfortunate, but that's the way it flew. And so we had to figure out a way to counter that, and we just weren't able to do that. Yeah,
you had a starter that ends up playing less than 10 minutes, somewhat like Ava over. Yeah,
and Kylie usually plays a whole lot of minutes because her confidence, her percentage, she's our most efficient player. She doesn't typically turn the ball over. She can handle the ball well enough against the press. She's there'll be moments in the game, right? She's going to turn it over just like everyone else, but she's been there before. And she understands. She knows all the plays. She can switch defensive concepts from a zone to a trap to a on-ball pressure quicker than I think, a lot of people in the country. So that was unfortunate. And hopefully we'll have her back before the next game starts. But if we don't, we're going to have to figure that out.
Well, the resiliency of this team is certainly been on display the entire year, and you get down 22-12 after one, and even UConn didn't shoot the ball great early, ended up 50% for the quarter, but that was kind of spurred on there late in the last 10 minutes of last few minutes of the first quarter. But then you cut it to 6 at 24-18, made a nice run there at the second quarter, and then it was 9 late in the second with the basketball. So you had a chance to get it down to 7, maybe 6, and really feel good about the halftime break.
That particular play, that just will show you a little bit of where we're still growing. And, Chit Chat is really amazing and dynamic. The one thing she is selfless to a fault. And at the end of that, we would have had the shot to end the half. And I think it was Addie that had the ball, but Chat went down when Chat needs to come back and get the ball because she's always the captain of our ship when it's the end of quarter situations. And so then it was just unfortunate. We had the opportunity, we're going down, and then their pressure, we get across the half court, and then there's the turnover, and it turns it around. And so then we go down, we went down half 11, right? And it could have been 6 at that time if we come down and do one of our end of quarter, plays. But that just is a residual effect of the pressure. Is like Chat, I wanted the ball in her hands, right? But she was like, Addie's good. We're good. We'll just go. And just those are the things that I know, we can definitely clean up. We just need a little bit more practice. And I tell you, had we not had the concussion of Chat missing that 2 weeks, I think that is not an issue. But it's just those are the things where they kind of, you just are like, drives you, to drink almost, just like that's such a correctable one, right? And then you just kind of give it to them and they get that layup and then that little bit of momentum going into the second half. But those are the kinds of things where we definitely have a plan. We definitely wanted to do X, Y, and Z. Sometimes it looks so easy. Why wouldn't do X, Y, and Z? Well, you're playing against the number 1 team in the country. And there's a lot of things that they do that it makes it really hard to do X, Y, and Z. But that particular moment where you're talking about, that's one of those that I wish we could have just rewound because I knew that could have been potentially such a powerful way to go into the second half.
Yeah, because really played very well in the second quarter. That was a 1-point quarter.
Yeah,
and still had to feel pretty good about things after the first 20 minutes.
I really felt pretty well. I mean, I've been watching a lot of UConn, and usually for most opponents, the third quarter we had happens within the end of the first or end of the second. And I really felt like I was trying to turn the game into 5 minutes, break, 5-minute break, and I felt really good about those 10 minutes in each quarter. But again, and I've challenged the team, what's happening in that halftime. That happened a little bit at Iowa State. We came out and they went on we went down 13 and then we had to come back. And the same thing against UConn. And if you do that against UConn, no matter when you do it, you won't come back. You cannot come back when you get up, when you get down 20 points to them. They will just not miss that many shots. They will not make mistakes enough to have you have a epic comeback. And I think that's what in that third quarter there's the only thing I'm disappointed about. We played in that amazing classic to be invited to that tournament, Shark Beauty Classic, and we played I'd say out of the 8 quarters there's only one I'd really want to have back. And so I'm proud of that, but that's our next step is that handling whatever was happening when we started that third quarter.
Well, Hannah Stalky ended up with 17 and 8 of 11 from the floor and thought really displayed some really good moves in the paint. Yeah,
I think I was happy to see, Hannah, I think I have to look, but I felt like she put back-to-back games solidly together. Lindenwood and this one, correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Hannah 31.
Had a great, right, yeah. That's what we need Hannah to do, right? Hannah needs to be the best player on the floor. She just has to be our best player. She's got to be our best player in practice. She's got to be our best player in games because that's what elevates the standard. And I really felt I was pleased with that. And so that's a bright spot is I felt like, Hannah really was able to handle a lot of their defense. And then when we weren't as productive as I think we will be in the future with our 5 position, she was still able to really hold her own.
Another good thing, too, is that when you did get shots, you made them. Yeah. All the percentages were really good.
Yeah, 26 turnovers. Yep. Some of them were unforced, but at the end of the day, you're playing a team that really rattles you, and that's where I've got to do a better job of really challenging us in practice every day and getting my male practice squad going. But there's no better prep than actually going through it. And so they've gone through it, and, I think there's a fine line that you can really look at the negatives so much and show them these turnovers and look at that. Why didn't you turn it over? Why did you throw that? And I think there's a time they've already relived it. So everybody wanting to tell them on social media that they did this, that, and the other, you don't really need to waste your breath or your time.
They know.
These kids care a lot more than anybody possibly watching. There's no way anybody as vested as you are cares as much as those kids, and the turnovers that they had when they didn't meet the pass or just made a bonehead decision is the balance of that. So we looked at a couple of the ones that were caused by UConn. totally caused by that. And we talked about what made us do some of the silly things that we did. And I thought they really responded and had a heck of a practice. I had to jack them up early in the practice. I think we were thinking about, candy canes and sugar plums and Santa a little bit. But once we got through that, I thought they really competed hard and got a good workout in before getting home to eat the sugar plums and candy canes.
They won't have any sugar this week, will
No,
they?
not at all. They do have a little slight workout, too, just in case they do.
I would hope so. Well, great to be here at the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency for Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen. If you'd like to jump in the conversation, we'd love to hear from you on social media at Iowa_Learfield or hashtag Hawk Talk. Also, Facebook.com, hashtag HSP Learfield. The U.S. Cellular text line as well at 319-853-8344. The text line 319-853-8344. You can also email any question you might have at hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. Plenty of ways to jump in the conversation. Our final Hawk Talk of 2025 with Iowa women's basketball head coach Jan Jensen. And, of course, we are presented by Oak Knoll, as it is their mission to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City area for 59 years. Oak Knoll is conveniently located near University of Iowa Healthcare Campus, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye in downtown Iowa City, and also a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Visit oakknoll.com to learn more. Throughout the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series, Iowa Corn promotes honest, hard-working values that are uniquely Iowan. Thank you to Iowa's corn farmers who lead the nation in corn and ethanol production, feeding and fueling us all. Go to iowacorn.org to learn how corn grows Iowa. Back with more with head coach Jan Jensen as we are presented by Oak Knoll live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar from Learfield.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 58 years. Oak Knoll is located near the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We are a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Ben McCullum. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
Flu season is here. Get your flu shot today at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment is necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. That's right, a 20-cent fuel saver. Get your flu shot when it's convenient for you. Schedule online or just stop by your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Help your family stay healthy. Get your flu shot and get a 20-cent fuel saver only at Hy-Vee. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
RE/MAX is the official real estate partner of Iowa Athletics, and we understand there's a number for everything: square footage, down payment, interest rates. But how do you measure the trust you have in your agent? For a RE/MAX agent, it's not about numbers on a contract. It's being a trusted RE/MAX agent. That means you'll get honest advice, expert guidance, and someone who's committed to your success. Because while numbers count, trust is what truly matters. RE/MAX, the official real estate partner of Iowa Athletics. Each office independently owned and operated.
More Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen, presented by Oaknall. We are live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar as gets set for Big Ten play, Iowa and Penn State on Sunday afternoon. And then a home game on the 1st of January against Nebraska. Penn State, that's a 3 o'clock tip. And Nebraska, 1 o'clock in the afternoon to ring in the new year with a little Hawkeye women's basketball. We mentioned Iowa still in the top 15 in the AP poll that came out today. Hawkeyes sit at number 14. UCLA, as far as Big Ten teams, they are 4th at 11-1. Then Michigan, 10-1. Their only loss to UConn this year at number 6. Maryland, 13-0 after that real close call up in Minneapolis in their Big Ten opener, number 7. Then USC checks in at 9-3, 17. And then Ohio State right behind them at 19 at 10-1. Then Nebraska, who we talked about, 12-0 at number 20 in the country. And then Michigan State at 10-1, coming off a victory against Indiana State last night. And they've got a big one tonight. I think it just started against number 15 Ole Miss in a tournament right before the break as here we go. And some teams finished off this weekend, and some are teeing it up tonight.
Yep. You know, it was interesting. I think back on you can schedule a win right before Christmas, right? When you schedule wins, there are teams.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. This was the one when we got invited to this tournament. We did this tournament last year, December 5th.
It was earlier,
weekend.
wasn't it? Yeah.
But, you know, it just it's always nice to go into the holiday with the break, with a win. But I think if we use this right, this will really prepare us for. I mean, you just listed everybody in the top 25.
No surprise.
So,
yeah, 8 teams ranked in the top 25,
which is pretty incredible.
So this week, obviously, practice today, and then now we get a few days off, and then reconvene later in the week.
Yeah, I think it just, you know, everybody goes so hard. The players do, and they're studying for finals. And I've spoken how we have some kids in some pretty high level. We got engineers, pre-med students, investment bankers. You know, different. They're in a really hard curriculums. So they're doing a lot of great things on the floor, off the floor, and so forth. So it's nice everybody can just take a break and just breathe for a while. As much as we all love it, you need to recharge those batteries. And I certainly am. I got my little hooligans right here. My Jack, Janie.
They're ready,
Julie,
aren't they?
Yeah.
Huh?
And we had a heck of an afternoon. We baked cookies, which was great. And Nora, yes, our Jack's
the
little
table's
girl.
full.
Yeah, the table's full. But it just was nice to take your mind completely off of it and just have a really, you know, a traditional type of fun. And, you know, you just don't get that much in athletics. And certainly any coach will tell you, I usually say, everybody's like, are you ready for Christmas? I'm like, Julie is. I'm going to show up, and I think she's pretty ready. But it's really nice when you got a teammate that'll really carry the load. And I'm just really, you know, happy. I would have loved to have done it with a win. It's fun to go in with a win, but I think we're going to learn a lot of lessons from this, and it's going to make us even stronger when we're going against those type of teams in the Big Ten. And, you know, I don't think anybody in the Big Ten, I mean, maybe UCLA, they're the favorite, but we're going to have a lot of battle scars going through. And you just want to know if you don't come out of top, you know, you're just battling and it's going to be tooth and nail. And that's what's great about a conference like this.
Well, here's a positive for you going into the Christmas break versus last year. 0-1 in the Big Ten, 1-0 this year.
Happy hallelujah for that, wasn't it? Yes, it was. You know, it
so you
feels
got your
great.
Victory heading into the Big Ten.
Yeah, it really is. That Rutgers game was great, and it's just nice to have a game like that, right? And coming back, we'll have Penn State at home and then Nebraska at home. So it'll be a great opportunity for us to, hopefully start 3-0.
So how many days off for the players before they come?
That's why I practiced yesterday. Usually I would have scheduled a game for Sunday. And I would have scheduled the game Sunday and had everybody go home today. But the way that tournament was, they played it on Saturday early. And that was just too long. We don't play till the 28th. And so if you send them home to eat all the sugar cookies and all the things, it was like, So, and I was really, was thinking about that because conveniently for kids who live far away, they can just fly, right away home and so forth. But, they understand. I mean, there was no player on our team that would have not wanted to practice and just get a good workout in before, because it's typically 4.5 days that you'll get off. Layla Hayes will be coming back on Christmas, right? She lives up in Anchorage or Wasilla. So she has to come back late at night on Christmas. We have a practice in the afternoon, the 26th. But everybody will get a good 4 days.
And that's where the weather forecast is nice. Make sure everybody
can
get back
really
and has
nice.
to travel distances.
I know. We would have had Enlist Rudolph for Layla to get her back here, but we don't. It's going to be nice and balmy, so we should be all good. As long as the challenge isn't the weather, it's the airlines.
Right.
We all know how inconsistent that is right now.
But at least you got one thing going for you, right?
Amen to that.
At least got the weather forecast that is in pretty good shape. Well, let's go to some questions here on Hawk Talk. Audrey, who checks in most of the time. We've talked a little bit about it, but as far as a little break here, what are you looking forward to most? Any traditional things that you do Christmas Eve, Christmas Day?
Yeah, I think we're like everyone. We always have our fun traditions. I'm just really looking forward to really just dialing it down, just taking a break. It's you're just a breather. It's it's these jobs that, they're great, but you just want to hold the standard. So I have a pretty awesome family, so just be nice to do the things that we do, in our Christmas breaks and so forth. So happy to just kind of just breathe, really. Just have a day without a little pressure will be nice. And I think the kids are feeling the same way.
I would think, especially for young coaches, it would be tough to try to turn it off, even for a couple of days. But I'm sure that's something you can learn over time, even though it's probably everything's still in the back of your mind.
I mean, I think I struggle with that. I got a good teammate, that kind of pushes my buttons if I'm a little bit too stressed or not, getting off the phone
that's
or
good
whatever.
To have, though.
Yeah, it is. It's just choices. You just have to make the choices. And I just kind of think, bummed you might be about a loss, or like, hey, you got to watch a little more film, or I got to text this recruit. I'm doing a little better job since I've had a recent birthday, right? When you read those things when you're young, like in my 30s, when they have those things on his deathbed, the CEO never wished he would have spent more time at the office, right? So you read that and you're like, yeah, that's so cool. And then you're just going through life, right? And you're not really understanding it. I'm realizing the sand's ticking. The sand, I can see the sand go faster through that little time thing.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, so I don't do it well. My kids help me a lot, and Julie, but it's just hard. You just want to be great. You're just salty about it. You just want to win all the time. You want to be great. And so then it's like your tendency is, I got to go to the office and I want to watch a little more film. And then you do that, and then you don't decorate a Christmas cookie. And when I'm 80, I now get it. I'll probably think you should have decorated the Christmas cookie and not watch Penn State, right? But it's I don't know. You're young, you're old, you're driven. It's a constant battle. And today I won the battle thanks to these guys.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Day by day.
Day
right?
by day.
Certainly that. And then if you nicked up and got to some nagging injuries, this is kind of a nice little break too, instead of having to play a midweek game and then another game on Saturday.
Yeah,
so
everybody.
It does kind of come in a good time.
I mean, everybody, Kylie, prayers up that she'll be okay. But everybody, you battle, everybody. Ben's teams, our teams, everybody in the country. We got We got quads, we got hammies, we got backs, we got whatever. It just get some ice on it and just lay low for a while.
No doubt about that. It comes at a good time. We get a little break as Olivia from Ankeny talk about leadership and who's kind of stepped up so far, or are you still kind of searching for that true leader? And that comes in different ways.
Yeah. I think that's what I constantly challenge this team with, is you have to have someone on the court or in the locker room that's really, pushing different buttons, and you got to continue to push those buttons. I think Taylor Strimlow continues to really shine with that. I think the hardest thing with leadership, especially with women, but I'm sure men are similarly, is you really love the people, and sometimes you have to sacrifice the love and being liked, and you have to kick some ass. Sorry about that, but you have to be in the course of a game. It's like, listen, get out of your head. Hey, we can't do that. Listen, blah, 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 blah. And I think we're growing Taylor into that. And it's difficult because that accountability and that ability to say, everybody think in this room. Think about one of your good groups of friends, older retired guys, you're playing some cards or at the bar table or whatever. Women, you're going to go have coffee. And you have to, at a moment, you have to address something that isn't going well for the group. Like maybe someone's a little sassy talking and they're, a little negative attitude or whatever. If you had to say at that very moment, hey, Joe, hey, Susan, you're a little negative right now. I need you to push through this. How uncomfortable will that be at the poker table or at the coffee table? It's really difficult. Growing a team is really difficult. Growing a leader is really difficult because it's conversations that have to happen in the locker room, have to happen at the heat of the moment, have to happen when you're at 9 o'clock at night, you're studying, but you know that Coach Day just got on so-and-so, and you know what, I need to check on her. It's hard. But the thing that's hardest in this life is being able to have confrontation that's positive. And I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there, but it's hard to grow. And it's just some come through that even stronger, and that's obviously what you're looking for. And at the end of the day, and I'm paid to win. I fully understand that. But the coolest part is what you can do as a coach is when you're in moments of duress and when you're in moments of like extreme success and then extreme disappointment is when you can get them to understand how to navigate adversity. And if you can get them to really understand conflict and understand the ability to have positive confrontation, that is a really amazing skill that will serve them really, really well. So when I take off my disappointment of winning or losing a game, but if I see growth in a Taylor Strimlow or a Kylie Feuerbach being able to be like, hey, we need you to go a little harder. I need you to not be disappointed about that foul you just had. I need you to cheer your head off when you're on this bench right now. And that when they get into a leadership position, when they got to start rallying in the troops and they can look back to, that UConn halftime, or maybe it's going to be that Penn State game when they were able to get into their teammate and kick him in the butt or, give him the pat on the back. So those are the life lessons that I think that are really, really important, and I'd like to think we're doing pretty well at. Because there's so many growth opportunities in so many different areas depending on a particular player. It might be on the court, off the court, but when they find that, that's when everything starts to come together. It really is. I mean, it's the same thing, When we're, 8-0, I can lead. I look like a doggone great leader. Right. You get your first loss, and how do you handle them then? Then the rubber hits the road, and it's just no different with these young women, and it's a constant challenge, and it goes back to the break. It's a constant on our staff to continue win, lose, draw, rain or shine. Our mission is to help these women become the best version of themselves as possible. That's why these parents have entrusted them to us. And it's your head is on a swivel constantly. So it's nice to get to these moments, and I think 10-2 I'm extremely proud of and pleased about. But I know what it's going to take to get us to that next level, and I think we're on our way.
Is it a hard thing too, whether it's a win or a loss, not to dwell back? It's easy to dwell on a win, but if you do have a tough loss, you got to put it behind you and move forward, and that can be a tough thing sometimes. Yeah. But boy, once you're able to do that, then other successes
Absolutely.
come.
Yeah, I mean, no one dwells on wins. I mean, the thing, I can't even tell you about the wins, but I can talk to you from here until freaking 27 about Iowa State and UConn. I mean,
that's coaches.
You're just obsessing. Like, I can't even remember a good win right now, right? So it's like you have to have a mental discipline, and I've been I fail a lot myself, but I know that I'm a work in progress, right? And I give myself about 24 hours, right? You got to, you get bruised after you lose. Some of my friends are like, well, you didn't think you were going to beat UConn. I'm like, well, I actually do go into a game thinking I could win all of them, right?
Have to.
But it's like, it doesn't matter if it's a UConn or a team you should have won. When you don't meet your own personal standard, there's a lot of self-beating up, and your kids do that too. So you have to constantly take the lessons, learn, give yourself 24 hours, and then you're ready to go. So I wish we could play Penn State tomorrow. I want to win again,
right?
To
get right back out
but
there.
I'm also happy to be decorating sugar cookies with my lovely family. So it's the yin and the yang.
It'll happen. Both are going to happen, which is great. Huh?
Yeah.
You get to do both.
Absolutely.
If you want to jump in on the conversation, we've still got some time at social media at Iowa /_ Learfield or hashtag Hawk Talk, Facebook.com, HSP Learfield. You can text us a question, 319-853-8344. Email hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. Appreciate everybody tuned in across the Hawkeye Radio Network, the Iowa Hawkeyes YouTube page, and new this year on Mediacom MC22 and Channel 822. Jeff, Indy, and Michael are here each and every Monday, and appreciate their support in televising both Hawk Talks with Jan Jensen and also Ben McCullum. Don't forget the Bowl Week is coming up as well, and the Fight for Iowa Bowl Week coverage will begin December 27th with daily podcasts from Tampa. Pat Anger and Gary Dolphin will bring you interviews and all the updates all Bowl Week, and it's presented by Hills Bank. The Fight for Iowa podcast on HawkeyeSports.com, YouTube, and also your favorite podcast platforms. So join Pat and Gary. As a proud sponsor of the Iowa Hawkeyes, a U.S. Sailor wants to make the most of today by choosing game day traditions first and scrolling a little bit later on. A U.S. Sailor is built for us. University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, also proud to be the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye women's basketball all season, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Learn more at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. More Hawk Talk with Coach Jensen, presented by Oaknall, live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar from Learfield, coming up next.
Dives for lunch.
The Juicy Lucy. Essentially, it's a burger, but with cheese on the inside.
James Beard Award winners for dinner.
French technique, but Midwestern ingredients. It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
Celebrate the legendary Donnie Baker with a night of non-stop laughs at the Donnie Baker Ron Sexton Memorial Tour, coming to Riverside Casino and Golf Resort. On Friday, January 30th, hear fellow Bob and Tom Show comedians Bob Zaney, Greg Hahn, and Kostaki Economopoulos share outrageous stories and never-before-heard moments from the road. Purchase your tickets for this heartfelt and hilarious tribute now at riversidecasinoandresort.com or stop at our gift shop. It's going to be a night of laughs you won't forget.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
You asked for all the extreme internet performance at an all-in price, and we listened. Get 1 gig internet with a 2-year price lock and everything included. Unlimited data for nonstop streaming, powerful Wi-Fi for enhanced coverage, built-in online threat protection, and internet equipment. All for just $65 a month for 2 years. It's the extreme 1 gig internet deal you asked for. Call 844-4FASTER or visit extreme.com for details. Offer available to new customers only. Price doesn't include one-time charges, tax, and government fees.
Can you think of anything that costs the same today as it did 10 years ago? There isn't much. That is, unless you're a Mid-American Energy customer. Thanks to all the renewable energy we're generating, our customers pay nearly the same rate for electricity today as they did back when we were all singing, "Call Me Maybe." And with Mid-American making even more investments in clean energy, you can count on enjoying those same affordable rates for the next decade. Now that's obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Flu season is here. Get your flu shot today at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment is necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. That's right, a 20-cent fuel saver. Get your flu shot when it's convenient for you. Schedule online or just stop by your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Help your family stay healthy. Get your flu shot and get a 20-cent fuel saver only at Hy-Vee. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
In Minnesota, we don't hide from winter. We embrace it. When there's a nip in the air, we take on the trails. For every layer you wear, there's a new experience waiting for you.
It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
Welcome back to the Watermill Kitchen and Bar as we continue on Hawk Talk with head coach Jensen, our final show of 2025. Hard to believe it's winding down, but certainly looking forward to 2026 and all the basketball in Big Ten play. A couple of the highlights from yesterday. USC just escaped California 61-57. Minnesota, who's had a good non-conference run here so far, they defeated the Drake Bulldogs 68-43. Oregon lost to Stanford 64-53. And then Richmond took care of Penn State, Iowa's next opponent, 70-54. And Ohio State is playing tonight, Western Michigan. And we mentioned Ole Miss, 15th in the country, and Michigan State at 24. So a top 20 matchup for the Spartans heading into the Christmas break as we go back to the U.S. Cellular text line. And Logan from Storm Lake, Jan wants to know your favorite Christmas carol, and that he sat next to you at the Lynx Mystics game.
Oh, gosh, there you go. Logan, good to see you. Almost Southwest Iowa, not quite, a little up north. You know, that's like picking my favorite child. There's so many.
You just can't do it.
I grew up in a home, my mother, God bless her soul, she was a church organist for 40 years. Beautiful woman inside and out. So our home always echoed. We had a organ in our house, not a big pipe organ, but a small one, and a piano. So I wish that I would have, I took piano lessons in 7th grade, and I quit, and she told me, "You're going to regret it." I said, "Mom, I got basketball, we're good." I regret it every day. But I would have to say my secular is Winter Wonderland, and close second is Silver Bells. I could bore you with reasons for both, but I won't. A Christian one, Oh Holy Night. I really like that. My mother played that beautifully. And then there's so many. But
you had some good tunes in your house, didn't you?
Did we ever? And I also have, she played every genre of music. So I knew more about everything from old school country to pop to Broadway. It always rang through. I mean, I didn't know the gift she gave me when I was hearing all those musical talents, but it has certainly been a gift. I love music. Music is my respite. Music is my equalizer.
It's funny you mentioned about the piano too, because you really rarely run into anybody that started lessons and quit, and you say, "Gosh, I wish you would have kept going,"
absolutely.
even if you ended up playing a different instrument.
Absolutely.
I did
play the saxophone all the way through. I played alto sax, and I played the tenor sax in jazz band. But I do not know if I could remember all my keys, but I do remember I enjoyed that. So I think that was my compromise.
You don't have any time for that anyway.
No, but I do have a guitar. I have a guitar. And when I got my master's way back at Drake, I got my master's, and Lisa Pluter, actually, she knew I always wanted to play the guitar. I thought, well, I'm going to make up for lost time. I'm going to teach myself guitar.
There you go.
So I got the guitar when I got my master's, and like 5 lessons. After the 5 lessons, the guitar sits in my doggone basement just like it did all the years in Des Moines. Someday, Rob. Someday I'm going to play that Iowa fight song.
Just get that dust off it, though.
Heaven
right?
There is no beer. Maybe I could just learn that after the game.
I feel a concert coming.
I would love that. Hey, you'll be the first to know if I'm going to ever have an open
I'll be in the front row right there. I can't wait for that. Well, don't forget to share a taste of Iowa tradition this holiday with the Eat Shop's famous cinnamon rolls. It'll be a great week for that.
Here we are again, the Eat Shop.
And homemade pies, which we had a couple of weeks ago.
Those cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, they were really good. Worth every bite. So you can pre-order stuff at theeatshop.com. And want to thank the Watermill Kitchen and Bar, of course, for hosting us all season long. We'll be right back here after the first of the year, of course, all the way through the end of the regular season and into March. So if you're looking for a space for your upcoming holiday party that may happen after Christmas, the Watermill Kitchen and Bar, their private dining room is ideal spot to gather your small group this holiday season. If you got some people come in for New Year's as well, space up to 18 guests, full menu of terrific options for everyone to enjoy. Great way to celebrate together. You can visit watermillkitchen.com. And we'll take a look at Penn State when we come back on our Civco game plan. More Hawk Talk with Coach Jensen, presented by Oaknall, live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar from Learfield.
Our mission at Oaknall is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 58 years. Oaknall is located near the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oaknall.com to learn more. We are a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Despite the unshakable Iowa-Corn Cy-Hawk rivalry, there is one thing Iowa State and University of Iowa fans can both agree on: getting hyped for Unleaded 88. It's cleaner burning and better for your engine, and it's cheaper than other fuel options, making Unleaded 88 the clear fuel choice. If Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk rivals can agree on it, you know it's worth the hype. So pump it up with Unleaded 88, grown by Iowa corn farmers.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Ben McCullum. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
You asked for all the extreme internet performance at an all-in price, and we listened. Get 1 gig internet with a 2-year price lock and everything included. Unlimited data for non-stop streaming, powerful Wi-Fi for enhanced coverage, built-in online threat protection, and internet equipment. All for just $65 a month for 2 years. It's the extreme 1 gig internet deal you asked for. Call 844-4FASTER or visit extreme.com for details. Offer available to new customers only. Price doesn't include one-time charges, tax, and government fees.
We love it when the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if there's anyone who can appreciate building a legacy, it's John Deere. We've been growing our team since 1837, recruiting the best thinkers, doers, and makers to craft innovations that outpace the competition. Because whether it's cultivating the earth with a tractor or reshaping it with a 40-ton excavator, The machines we build are building America. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Final moments of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen as we get set for Big Ten play. And we'll start in Carver Hawkeye Arena on Sunday as the Penn State Nittany Lions come to town. And it's time for the game plan. Brought to you by Civco, as precision matters most when your loved one is undergoing an invasive procedure. For over 40 years, Civco has been a trusted provider for image-guided procedures, counted on to deliver outstanding service and superior quality all around the world. Civco Medical Solutions, making image-guided procedures safer. For Penn State, they stand at 7-5 overall, 4-2 at home. They played a couple of road games. They are 1-1. Numbers look pretty good, shooting almost 47% from the floor, 33-7 from three, 67% from the free throw line. As they've got 4 players that average in double figures. Gracie Merkel leads the way at 19.8. And this is a team that's tried to build here the last several years, as Caroline Keeger has had a very successful run at Marquette, came over from there to Penn State, and trying to keep pushing forward as a team that started off at 4-0. They won game to Nebraska in the Big Ten. They did lose that one 101-83. But as you mentioned, you got to show up and play your best. That they're too important, these games.
Well, they're Merkel. She's 6'6", and she does a heck of a job, and she's hard to guard. I mean, we've hard to guard Crooks, hard to guard this kid. So we're going to have to be creative with how we guard that gal. She's shooting a great percentage, and we're going to have to make sure we don't let their guards get out of out of control. Now their guards aren't shooting as nearly as great a percentage as the Iowa State guards were, and certainly they're not at all UConn. But to get started, it's going to start with our defense of that kid on the inside. But I love how our team responded. They've responded all year. They're resilient. We're younger than we're older. Chit-chat's growing and learning. I loved it that Hannah started to respond. I do think that Ava, she's just learning how to be the number one target. Ava has not been on everyone's scouting report on the top, and she created herself there. And now, she's understanding what that feels like. She's getting everybody's best shot. But she's got a lot of skills. We'll get her ready to rock and roll, and let's just get it 1-0 at home to start in that new 2026.
Merry Christmas, and we'll see you Sunday.
Sounds great. God bless you, and go Hawks. Thanks for coming.
Happy holidays to everybody that showed up tonight for Hawk Talk. Appreciate it, and we'll see you after the first of the year. Coming up next is assistant coach Luke Barnwell and Jacob Cook.
Essentially, it's a burger, but with cheese on the inside.
James Beard Award winners for dinner.
French technique, but Midwestern ingredients. It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
We love it when the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if there's anyone who can appreciate building a legacy, it's John Deere. We've been growing our team since 1837, recruiting the best thinkers, doers, and makers to craft innovations that outpace the competition. Because whether it's cultivating the earth with a tractor or reshaping it with a 40-ton excavator, the machines we build are building America. Nothing runs like a Deere.
At MidAmerican Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The year-end clearance sale is going on now at your local Honda dealer. Honda cars, SUVs, and trucks are on clearance during Happy Honda Days. Save thousands on the new Honda today with 0.99% financing. 2025 Accords, Pilots, and Ridgelines are on clearance. Plus, see big savings on the full Honda line, like financing as low as 0.99% APR on the new 2025 Ridgeline. Don't miss Happy Honda Days. Search your local Honda dealer today. See dealer for financing details. Financing on credit approval offer ends 1/5/26.
Time now for the Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield Health Coverage Report. Let's take a look at the numbers. When you enroll in a Wellmark individual or family health plan, you choose from thousands of in-network providers. And you're teaming up with Iowa's #1 health insurance company. We know healthcare in Iowa. Score great coverage from Wellmark. Find the plan that's best for you at wellmark.com/covered. Enrollment ends January 15th.
Attention Hawkeye fans, Big Grove is proud to be an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Whether you're at the game or watching from home, Big Grove has got you covered. Enjoy an easy Eddie from the stands or visit them for every Hawkeye game at any of their 4 convenient Iowa locations in Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, or Solon. Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters of the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! Big Grove Brewery, an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
In Minnesota, we don't hide from winter. We embrace it. When there's a nip in the air, we take on the trails. For every layer you wear, there's a new experience waiting for you.
It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville, this has been Hawk Talk with Jensen, presented by Oak Knoll Retirement Community. Oak Knoll, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City community for 59 years. Also brought to you by Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Bud Light, proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. And by your local Ford dealers. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.